Good afternoon. Welcome back. This is Wayne with Dig and Diesel. Today I want to talk a little bit about 19.5s, commercial tires on a 1-ton pickup truck. When I originally made the switch over, there wasn't a lot to find out about these. I had questions as far as, can I put drive tires on the front of my truck? And I could not find a definitive answer. Ultimately, I decided to go with drive tires all the way around. So I'll show you those, what happened as a result of it, and whether it might be the right fit for you. The biggest question I had when I went to the commercial tires was which ones to go with. Me personally, I really like the look of the drive tires. You can get them in a much more aggressive pattern, which is going to be more comparable to a mud tire. Challenge with that for me that was unknown was how will they wear on the front of the truck like this. Now, do you want to go with a drive tire? Do you want to go with an all-position tire? Do you want to go with the steer tire? These are the main questions you have to ask yourself when you take that step up to a commercial grade tire. The first question was to decide, where am I going to get wheels? Luckily, I was able to find a set on Marketplace. A gentleman had these. They were on, I want to say, a 2010, 2012, something like that, Ford F350. The 8 lug pattern on those is the exact match for a 5th gen Ram. When I got them, they were just polished aluminum. I took them and had them powder coated. That way it maintained the appearance of the night package that this truck was originally equipped with. The tire I chose to go with all the way around, it's a Westlake CM986. It's a 245/70 19.5. It's just a little bit bigger than stock, but as I just mentioned, the tread block. It looks a lot more like a mud terrain tire. To me, it just fits the appearance of a pickup truck. Bit of a spoiler alert, you'll see that the Westlakes are not on the front, but we'll get into that here in a second. I tried to highlight it the best I could using some chalk, but it was getting some feathery wear. The front edge of the block was sitting a little bit higher than the back edge. And as a result of that, it was starting to cause a vibration in the steering wheel, as well as some audible noise inside the truck. I'm going to try to show you from the side here so you can see the feathering. This is after about 10,000 miles, so it really isn't that long. You can imagine if these were to go 50, 60, 100,000 miles. I think on the outside edge here is probably where you see it the best. On the back edge here, it's pretty low, and at the front edge here, it matches the center block. So already at this point, there's probably a 1/4 inch difference between the front and the back edge of the block. So I ended up going with an all-position tire. You can go with a steer tire as well, but the biggest difference is the outside edge of the tread block. This has an open lug pattern with a significant void here. All of these tread blocks have the ability to lean and shift, and that's the main reason that that feathering issue has developed. As opposed to with an all position, it's a closed outside shoulder, and then all of the center tread blocks, they have all deep connective rubber in there. There's no individual blocks to shift around. And what that does is when the truck is pushing through corners, they act as one. As opposed to with this tire, they have the ability to shift around, causing all of the wear issues. With the 1-ton dually, the extra set of tires, this truck wants to go straight. It does not want to go through corners. And I think that is the biggest issue that causes the feathering on these tires. Every time you're going through a corner, all it wants to do is go straight. So the front tires are constantly fighting it. I think the only situation where you could truly get away with a tire like this, a drive tire, is if all you do is straight driving on the interstate. High mileage, hot shot driving, things like that. But if you do any sort of city driving, I would highly recommend going with either a steer or an all-position tire. That way you get the closed shoulder here. We're going to be going on a trip here shortly. It's going to be just a summer vacation, about 5,000 miles. So I think in that time frame, I'll be able to tell whether or not a feathering issue is going to start with these, or if they're going to maintain a nice even wear. Again, when I changed these, I did another alignment just to make sure that I give it the highest probability of surviving. But again, time will tell. One of the biggest things I noticed outside of the steering wheel holding straight and steady by going to the all-position tire was the noise in the truck. Originally, when I put the drive tires on, they weren't that loud, to be quite honest. And as they slowly started to develop the wear issue, the noise just progressively got a little bit worse. And it wasn't something that was super noticeable. I've had mud tires, super swampers in the past, and those are significantly louder than these are. But there is definitely an audible difference between these two tires. So when I changed out the front tires, I ended up going with the Firestone FS561. It's a 225/70/19.5. The weight rating goes on this. This is a single axle configuration up here. So the load rating is 3,970 pounds. Now just for comparison, the Westlake Drive tire and the max load on a dual is 4,675 pounds. And that's going to be per tire. So you're looking at roughly 18,000 pounds in total weight capacity between the 4 tires on the back of the truck, which is way, way more than this truck will ever see. Being a 1-ton with about 3,500 pounds in pin weight, when I have my 5th wheel in here, I have more than double, almost triple the capacity that I need. From the cost perspective, these were just over $200 a tire. As opposed to some Nitto or Toyo tires, those can run anywhere from $250 to $400 per tire, and you get half of the tread life out of them. The only other caveat I want to talk about is the ability to balance these. There are some places that are equipped, but for the most part they don't. Typically they want to put the balancing beads in there, or you can go to some of the self-balancing rings that you can bolt on behind the axle as well. And that's key to making these tires last the long haul. Otherwise you're going to get some pretty significant uneven wear, because I think the weight on these is anywhere between 60 and 80 pounds per tire. So that's a lot of rotational weight, which brings up the last topic, braking. That's the only thing that I truly noticed when I went to this larger, heavier wheel and tire package, is the rotational mass. I really felt it in the braking. I just know when I pushed that brake pedal after swapping over to these, it did not feel nearly as strong as it did prior. I appreciate y'all joining me. I hope you found this information beneficial. I hope this helps some of you to be informed if you choose to go this route. And until next time, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.